for more than 1,200 separate hands-off rallies that is protesting actions of President Trump and Elon Musk. Here in Minnesota, a rally happened outside the Capitol in St. Paul. Joe McCoy talked with some people that were there about what motivated them to show up.
People are protesting here in Minnesota at the state capitol and across the country as the second Trump term hits its 75th day in office.
We're not going back. We're not going back.
Organizers estimate 14,000 people showed up at the hands-off protest to make their voice heard on everything from tariffs, Elon Musk's role in the government, and Trump's immigration policies. This was the largest protest in Minnesota since Trump took office again in January. It featured speeches from U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar and Minnesota Senate Majority Leader Aaron Murphy.
And I want to make sure that my kids and my grandkids someday look back and say, what did my mom do when we faced that challenge?
For some, the choices being made by the Trump administration hit on a more personal level.
I'm a former Marine. I think that cutting 83,000 jobs out of the VA is a very bad idea for our veterans.
Stocks have plunged, return on investments have plummeted. The economy is teetering right now on the edge of a recession. Demonstrators from Lakewood to Boston, Atlanta, and Charlotte held what they call hands-off marches in support of education, immigration, health care, and Social Security. They believe the Trump administration is stripping the federal government of their essential everyday needs.
Protesters are also taking to the streets here at home.
They're also standing against the administration's mass deportation policies. It's cutting protections for transgender people and the president's economic plans and institution of tariffs. 600,000 people around the country, even in other parts of the globe, have signed up to take part in this movement. This is the largest one locally. There are other demonstrations in Orange County and small groups gathering in other parts of town. Here's some of what we're hearing from Los Angeles demonstrators.
I don't think we should dismantle our whole way of being in 90 days. I think Congress has been asleep. I think some changes have needed to be made, but they should have been made thoughtfully and not in this reckless way by Elon Musk.
I think they're destroying this country, democracy, the world, the economy, you name it. Very, very bad regime.
I believe that everyone should have due process and that the people that have been illegally deported have rights, just like we all do, that students that have visas and that are speaking up for things that they believe in, for Gaza, all of that, that as Americans we have that right, and that should not cause your whole life to be ruined because you're caring about other people.
We're supposed to be upholding people's civil rights in this country, you know? Yeah, we're all equal. So, yeah, at the end of the day, that's really what matters.
Thousands of people marched from Piedmont Park to the Capitol today for that very same reason. 11 Alive's Chase Howell was there and takes us inside that demonstration.
From marching across the metro, or rallying in front of the Capitol, more than 20,000 people stood together demanding the Trump administration keep its hands off their jobs and their rights.
He's trying to be king of America. There's no kings in America. Everybody, we're equal. And the fact that he's trying to change what we have known for hundreds of years is pissing me off.
People standing in a sea of signs in Liberty Plaza, hearing from various speakers, whether they be laid off CDC workers like this woman.
Democracy dies in darkness and in silence.
Or local advocates standing up for everyone's rights.
Today, we witness the birth of the resistance again.
The so-called hands-off rallies were organized by a national group called Indivisible. They released this map showing the depth of the event nationwide. Susan Austin with the Mid-Peninsula chapter said the hope is to make an impression on Republican lawmakers in conservative states.
What we're going to see today is people in Alabama, in Pennsylvania, in all these red and swing states that are showing up, and their legislators are going to have to take their constituents' points of view into mind, and more people are saying this wasn't the Trump that I voted for. These aren't the actions that I was thinking I was getting with Trump.
As he watched from across the street, Jim said he felt a sense of relief, especially after there was so little resistance coming from elected officials in the first few weeks.
And for a minute, I thought I was the only one that smelled smoke in the house and there was a fire. It wasn't until people started pushing back and the article started saying, a lot of people don't agree with this. That's when I felt, oh good, now I got to find something to do.
He's doing what any private citizen can, show up and make their voices heard. And they're hoping that the sheer numbers will mean elected officials who have stayed silent will have something else to fear besides Donald Trump come Election Day.
Well, Darren, this has to be one of the biggest protests I've ever covered. People came out for a range of issues in the country they say they hardly recognize.
After a rallying cry surrounding the bandstand,
"We, the people," means everyone.
more than 10,000 people marched from the Boston Common to City Hall Plaza Saturday to send the Trump administration a message.
Ordinary America doesn't think this is okay. They want hands off.
The people united!
This, one of more than 1,300 hands-off protests across all 50 states, demanding an end to what organizers call tyranny and fascism.
This is our Boston Tea Party for this generation.
As our government is being pulled apart, we want to fight for it.
If we don't get it.
The values they're fighting to resurrect, written on tombstones at Boston's third oldest cemetery. Here lies free speech, Social Security, international alliances, cancer research, the global economy, due process, the Constitution, checks and balances, reproductive rights, climate science, trans rights, and education for all.